Hey y'all, so today I'm doing the Barkin Books book tag from Breakeven Books in honor of Eric's dog Max. So here we go. Before we really get started, I'm going to go ahead and let you know that I'm going to link his channel down below. He is the original creator, and he was kind enough to tag so many people to do this really unique and great way of sharing about your pets in form of a book tag. The first prompt is, I've got a bone to pick with you. Name a book that you were enjoying until you weren't. And for me, that would be Bring Me Back. I listened to this on audio. I don't want to talk about the details as far as why it was so disappointing because that would be a spoiler. However, there is a certain plot twist that I have found a lot of thrillers like to use, lean on, overuse, and this book was right after, because I had read one book with it and I was slightly annoyed with that one, and then I read this one thinking it might be different, and it was the same thing, and I was very upset by the time I was done with it. It was so short that I went ahead and finished it, but you know, and you have to finish a thriller, otherwise you don't know what all the twists are for the most part, but I was really disappointed in this one. I kind of wish I could take it back. The second prompt is Welcome Home. Name a book that gives you warm feelings of home. And for me, that will be Watership Down. I don't know what it is about this book. I love it so much. The idea of these rabbits traveling across these meadows and through the woods is just, it's a very heartwarming book and has very moving moments. And especially when you get to the end, it just gives me that warm, happy feeling that I reread this quite a lot because I want that feeling. I love the feeling that it gives me, and I always go back to this when I return home, if you will, to reread and get that feeling back. So in the middle of this, I'm going to go ahead and show pictures of our first cat, which is Jericho, and all of his lovely nicknames. Prompt is Reppin' It. Name a book that has a journey or travel element to it. So in order to not say Watership Down again, because that's my first instinct, I'm going to go with Nobody Is Ever Missing. This book, I read it many years ago, and I remember just feeling very connected with the main character and her journey that she takes basically across the world. I really connected with her on a weird way that I didn't think I would, and I really enjoyed it. It was very good. Okay, the next prompt is Marking Your Territory. Name a book or series that you will always stand by no matter what. And I guess I'm gonna have to go with Harry Potter. I know that J.K. Rowling is very problematic, and it's a shame. I love this series because it got me through some really difficult times in my life, including my father's death. I grew up reading and rereading these books, and they taught me very valuable lessons, and I thoroughly enjoyed them. And I refuse to let J.K. Rowling's, I don't want to say new, not because I guess her behavior isn't new, it's just more widely known because of Twitter. I refuse to let her ruin this series for me. I just can't, even if I don't like her. So before we move on into a couple more prompts, I'll go ahead and give you a couple pictures along with the crazy nicknames for my daughter's cat, Silas. The next prompt is Digin Holes, a book that had a lot of secrets or big plot twists. And for me, that's definitely going to be Hero of Ages. It brought in very many secrets that I didn't really know were secrets and big plot twists. It just wrapped up the trilogy so nicely. Probably one of my favorites of all time at this point. Top 5 for sure. Hero of Ages would be a great wrap up for that. The next prompt is Stand By Me, a book that displays a very loyal friendship. And I'm going to go ahead and go with A Little Life by Hanya Yanagihara. This book has a very loyal friendship group. And I feel like this is going to be a little bit of a weird twist on it because I feel like it teaches you about the importance of these friendships and having close people in your life, people that care about you, and want the best for you, but it also has the darker side of unwavering loyalty, which is enabling. And I think it's a very important thing to kind of be aware of and know. This was just such a really great and insightful read, and I loved it. I really hate to say that I enjoyed reading it because it was such a sad book that I cried several times, but it meant a lot and had a lot to say. So lastly, I'll go ahead and show pictures of my cat. His name is Jinx in all his glory. So the next prompt is Tug of War, a book you have very mixed feelings about. For me, that's going to be The Only Good Indians. I still cannot decide how I feel about this book. On one hand, I was just very confused, and I feel like the plot reveal was a little bit of a letdown. The more I talk about it with other people, though, the more I kind of see the point of what the story was and what he was going for. So I don't know. I'm still that's why this is the answer, is because I still don't know. Alright, so the last prompt is Treats, a book you're super excited about and will reward yourself by reading it. And that's going to be The Way of Kings by Brandon Sanderson. This is the first book, of course, in the Stormlight Archive. I'm sure nobody is surprised. Stormlight Archive is the only thing that I haven't read by Brandon Sanderson. And as far as his Cosmere universe, I haven't read his short stories, but I don't necessarily count that. I have the UK covers, so it comes in 2 books, technically. I think I'm going to convince my husband to let me buy the big floppy paperback, because I think that would be easier to read, even if I love the UK covers for collection purposes better. But I feel like I'd have an easier time reading the big floppy paperback. Also, it's a big floppy paperback. I can have 2 copies of the book. That would be a treat. It all comes together. So that is the Barking Bout Books book tag. I want to thank Eric for setting this up as a really cute way of getting to know everybody as well as their pets. And my condolences go out to you for Max. He is such a cutie and very adorable. If you want to check out his original video, I'm going to go ahead and link it down below. Go ahead and take part in the tag. I know he wants a lot of people doing the tag, and make sure to tag him when you do it. And y'all have a great one. Y'all are as good as gold. Y'all take care. Bye.